Man, so I guess
Kelly,
I know continues because the story just gets more and more bizarre. But I know that the parents of these two women that are living with him right now, all they want to do is connect with their daughters without him around, and that's proving to be quite a challenge.
It is. The family of one of R. Kelly's living girlfriends, that's Joycelyn Savage. Joycelyn Savage, we have heard different variations. Tell CBS News that they are making progress toward their first in-person meeting with her in more than 2 years. And they talked yesterday after Joycelyn's mother, Joycelyn, pleaded with Kelly to let her see her daughter.
She believes that Joycelyn has been brainwashed, but Joycelyn insists that she is staying with Kelly willingly. Jericka Duncan has more about the family's potential meeting.
I have no doubt that you have feelings for Mr. Kelly.
Joycelyn Savage has resorted to holding news conferences in order to communicate with her 23-year-old daughter, Joycelyn. She says the last time she saw her was 2.5 years ago.
Joycelyn, if you do hear my message, please know that your mother loves you dearly. All the lies, manipulation, things that you've heard about your family, that we took money, that we don't want to see you, those are all lies.
Gerald Griggs, the Savage family's attorney, says Kelly's crisis manager, Daryl Johnson, told him last week a meeting between Joycelyn and her family was imminent.
If she decides willingly to leave Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, that's on her. But we want to establish a relationship back with her family and then move from there.
In a television interview last night, Johnson laid out possible conditions for the meeting.
We'd have maybe one camera, a mediator, not to just let them do what they do, and someone to sit and just listen. And when it's over, perhaps interview each participant there and say, what did you get out of it? And then, everybody got what they wanted.
Last week, Joycelyn Savage made a surprise phone call to her family.
I need you guys to understand that I'm very happy.
How will we know you're happy when we don't hear from you in 2 years?
Well, I have to go now.
I love you, Joycelyn.
That call came the day after she and Kelly's other live-in girlfriend, Azriel Clary, gave an exclusive interview to Gayle King. With Kelly listening nearby, both women claim their parents were scammers out to get money from the 3-time Grammy winner.
I'm very free will to make my own decisions, and I choose to be here with Robert.
And you both have made the decision that you don't want to see your families?
Yes. Of course. Of course.
Kelly adamantly denies holding any woman against her will.
You're saying the parents handed their daughters, Azriel and Joycelyn, over to you? Is that what you're saying to her?
Absolutely.
So CBS News correspondent Jericka Duncan is joining us now from Chicago. Jericka, what are we learning about the progress between Joycelyn Savage and her family? Are we hearing that there's a possible meeting, and in particular a meeting without R. Kelly being around?
So that's what we know, that there are talks. There's a possible meeting in play, but we don't know what city, we don't know what time, we don't know whether R. Kelly is going to be present. And that is a big thing for the Savage family. They want to just have a one-on-one with their daughter. And earlier they had even said they thought about bringing in their own sort of mental health expert because they are convinced. The mom said yesterday at that news conference, I'm 98% sure, I believe she said 98% sure that she is not okay, that her daughter is being forced to say these things. And I can tell you in our interview that we did with Dominique Gardner's mother, Dominique Gardner is the one in the Lifetime series, Surviving R. Kelly, who was seen leaving and fleeing, so to speak. Her mom told us that her daughter told her they were supposed to practice, that they rehearsed what they would say, that everything is orchestrated and planned when it comes to any sort of appearances, if you will, that these girls make. This isn't the first time Joycelyn has said these things. She's been on TMZ saying, I'm fine, leave me alone. So even though we've heard from her in that phone call, she has done videos before where she tries to, assure her parents that she's okay. But her parents don't believe it.
Yeah, and Jericka, the other question is this. R. Kelly, as you know, has pleaded not guilty to 10 counts of aggravated criminal sex abuse. He's facing up to 70 years in prison. What are you hearing from people around him, from people close to him, about what the next steps, the possible steps, could be for him?
I know his attorney said that he was looking forward to a speedy trial and that he was in good spirits when he was in jail this past weekend. But at this point, having covered a couple of major trials, this could play out for some time. I remember covering when Bill Cosby was originally charged at the end of 2015, and his first trial wasn't until 2016, and then another one after that. So we don't really know in terms of what specifically is next, other than a number of court appearances. I mean, you have an attorney representing R. Kelly who says, I haven't even seen the evidence that the prosecution has against my client. So much has to play out. And this issue with the live-in girlfriends is just part of a much bigger story, and we will definitely stay on it and continue to cover it.
I know you will. Jericka Duncan, thank you very much.